Sussex's nightmare. Dirty marketing plan driving Meghan and Harry from royal family forever. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are asked to remain in the news for their association with the royal family. Pauline McLaren, Professor of Marketing and Consumer Research at Royal Holloway says, "I think they need to really top up their associations with royalty. Because without their royal connections they really are nobodies in the US, which is where they're trying to establish themselves. I do think their unique selling point, to put it in marketing speak, is that they have the sort of humanitarian aim and of course that high profile. But the high profile is really because of their titles and their associations with British royalty. They're developing a kind of rival brand, or court, or however you like to describe it. But I do think the longer they stay away they lose that royal magic." She added, "Harry and Meghan really need to have these royal connections and maintain them. The royals also need the diversity that the two of them bring, specifically Meghan. It was pretty sad they lost that." The advice comes after both Prince Harry and Meghan Markle decided to opt out of Prince Philip's memorial service over concerns of security. Guests at the Duke of Edinburgh's memorial service were discussing Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's decision to skip the event, with the late royal's former protection officer describing their excuse for not attending as nonsense. Richard Griffin, who was responsible for the safety of both the Queen and Prince Philip for 14 years, was a guest at today's event but was disappointed the Duke and Duchess of Sussex decided against returning to the UK to pay their respects. Harry has said he's unable to return to the UK due to safety concerns, which have become the subject of his latest legal battle, this time against the Home Office. Speaking, Richard said, "William had a great training from Prince Philip, and is going to learn all his examples for him. Fingers crossed. I just hope Harry gets some of these things into his mind." Asked about his decision not to attend, he said, "That was a big disappointment for everybody." He also said that members of the 1,800-strong congregation were discussing Harry's absence before the service began. He said, "Certainly around where I was they thought he should have been here. All this nonsense about he couldn't get protection, as far as I'm concerned that was a pathetic excuse. He should have been here to honor his grandfather. At the end of the day, if he was that worried about security he could have stuck with his brother and father who have got wonderful security. He would have been more than safe." Richard worked for the royal family for over a decade and said today's service captured the Duke perfectly. Speaking about today's event, he said, "To see the Queen come in and sit with her family, that was wonderful. It was very emotional. I worked with Prince Philip for 14 years and traveled the world with him. I did a lot of things with him and deeply missed him when he died." Prince Philip had a big footprint on the service. You could see it right the way through. "It was fantastic to be able to come today and pay our respects. It was a wonderful, wonderful service. He was the most caring man you could possibly meet." He also shared a story about when his son was diagnosed with cancer and Philip called the hospital to check on him. He also wrote to his wife to check on her and on another occasion arranged transport so Mr. Griffin's daughter could make it home Christmas. Today's event paid tribute to Prince Philip's charity work and decades of service to the Queen and the royal family. The Dean of Westminster delivered a moving speech about the Duke. He said, "He would hate to think that I should paint a picture of him as a plaster saint, someone without the usual human foibles and failings. He was far too self-aware ever to be taken in by flattery. Of course, it must be said that his life bore the marks of sacrifice and service."